And it became apparent to me that the entire world system is corrupt. Goes around, comes around. And we're seeing the complete breakdown of law and order around the world, and I believe that there is a divine retribution coming. I think the one thing I'd like for you to take away from anything that I say today is this one point, that nothing in this world works the way you think it does. Nothing. The police aren't who you think they are. The sheriff is not who you think he is. Banks do not do what you think they do. Governments don't operate anywhere near the way you think they do. And that's why today, when you look at what's going on in the world today, none of it makes any sense. It's all crazy. It makes no sense at all. Seems very destructive. But actually, in point of fact, you don't know how the system works.
I don't swear, sir. Why? Because in the Bible, Christ says you can't swear. That's why. And then they'll say, swear on the Bible, making you think that they are with God. They'll put the Bible away and pull out their laws and judge you on that. This is an ungodly generation, and all governments are under Satan.
The Thule Society, the Germanian Order, were all members of something called the Saturnalian Brotherhood, the Brotherhood of Saturn. Saturn was the god of darkness, chaos, and destruction. He teaches you a lesson. He will take your life if you don't listen to him. So consequently, Saturn was very, very important in the ancient world. Thank you. Got nothing. You've got no power over nothing. This is a white man's country. This is a white man's world. The white man from Europe dominates the whole planet. White men goes into any country and kill everybody. Take over anything they want. This is a white man's country. It's a white man's world. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just telling you the fact of the matter. White people out of Europe have dominated Europe and have dominated Europe has dominated the world. And so England has manipulated and exploited the races, the peoples of the world. The white man has been using exploitation, commerce to manipulate and exploit the whole human race.
You should be reading your Bible. Reading your Bible. You hear what I tell you? Reading your Bible 3 times a day.
So the people who run this world know that most people couldn't care less about truth. America is not the land of the free and the home of the brave. We're not free or brave. Need to wake up and find out. We're just here. In the Middle East, the old Phoenician Canaanite worship of the planet Saturn was the most important god of all the ancient world, was the planet Saturn, and his symbol, long before the Hebrews were ever in Canaan, the symbol in Cana for the planet Saturn was a 6-pointed star. Today we call that star the Star of David. There was no Star of David. It's the Star of Saturn. A Masonic circle, and within the Masonic circle is a square, because you got to do everything on the square, remember. You have a town square, you have New York Square, you have Vatican Square, you have Red Square, you have all kinds of squares. Why? Because this is Masonic, and it goes all the way back into the ancient world. Then there's a time in the Hebrew history, in the Old Testament history, where the planet Saturn became the dominant deity for the Jewish people. Saturn, very important. I would suggest that the planet Saturn is the most important subject you're ever going to be introduced to. Saturn plays a profound, significant part in our country today, in the political situation that this country's in. The planet Saturn is profoundly important to understand. He's referred to as the Lord of the Rings. They still make movies about him. And most people have no idea in the world what's going on. But the people who run this world, they're very well aware of the symbols and what these things mean. Saturn was referred to as I said, the Lord of the Rings. Women were told in ancient Israel to listen to their god, so they wore an ear ring. Men were to get married before their god, so they wore a wedding ring. Consequently, the kings were to get to be crowned before their god Saturn, so they wore the round corona, the ring, Lord of the Rings. Consequently, black was the color associated with the planet Saturn. We have different planets and different colors associated with the different planets coming from the ancient world, but black was the color associated with the planet Saturn. So therefore all the priests would wear black robes, just as Catholic priests wear black robes, judges wear black robes, rabbis wear black robes. Young people graduating from university and college, they come out wearing a black robe. Black robes. Somebody better go back and do your homework. And then when the Hyksos moved north into Palestine, they encountered the planet Saturn. Saturn, as I said, was called El. Child sacrifices, pornography, blood rituals, moon worship, Saturn worship, sun worship. My God, that whole area is filled with lunacy. It is today the center of world lunacy. And the secret societies and fraternal orders out of England, France, Germany, and America are manipulating the peoples of this world to support something called the reestablishment of Solomon's Temple.
You should be reading your Bible. Reading your Bible. You hear what I tell you? Reading your Bible 3 times a day.
Out of Phoenicia, Canaan. It goes back to the old Sumerian, Babylonian systems of words and terms and symbols and emblems that have been used to manipulate the whole human race. Because our masters don't give a damn about you or your family or your destiny with God. All they care about is what they have always cared about, and that's controlling the whole damn world. Somewhere along the line, we're going to discover we've been had, if we haven't already figured it out. I want to show you how the planet Saturn, the Saturnalian Brotherhood, the worship of the planet Saturn.
It's the star of Saturn.
And as far as I'm concerned, I'm amazed at how many people don't even begin to know what these words mean. Yahweh is not the name of God. Yahweh in Hebrew is an expressive term. It's expressing something. It's describing something. It's not a formal name of God. Yahweh in Hebrew simply means, and the best way to explain what the word means is to take a garden hose and twist it, hold the end of it, turn on the water, and you feel the pressure building up. When you release the hose, it's a release of pressure. It's a release of energy. In the Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew, the release of dynamic energy was called Yahweh. And it was always associated with sex. It's the building up of the sexual urge, and the releasing of sex in the sex act was referred to in the ancient Phoenician Canaanite system as being one with Yahweh, the explosion of divine creativity. That's why our Jewish physicists have told us the universe came into existence by a big bang.
I mean, in every day, every little thing you do, it's such a gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? You want to be like Trump? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Push, 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 push. Step, step, step. Crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is.
It's the star of Saturn.
It needs to be real. And it need to be before we all die, and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you got to pay your own karma. And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you.
And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you.
quantum